Hello everyone. Thank you for coming for class. As always, I recommend having 2 blocks and a strap. If you do not have actual blocks, you can use books, you can use Tupperware, you can use whatever you have on hand. You can use boxes. If you don't have an actual yoga strap, you can use a belt, you can use a towel, you can use a piece of rope, whatever you have. Alright. Always recommend also having a hand towel, both to wipe off with and to fold up and put underneath the back knee for kneeling lunges, and something to drink. I know I had a request on shoulders and hip flexors. So just if you have any other requests, post it as a comment and I will see what I can work in. We'll be getting started in just a few minutes rather. Just going to give people a few more minutes to wander in for class. Can you hear me okay? Hey guys, thanks for joining the class. Can you guys hear me okay? Cool. As always, I recommend having a strap or something to use as a strap. So you could use a belt. If you use a belt, I recommend a cloth belt, a towel, a piece of rope, whatever you have, and having something to use for yoga blocks, be it actual yoga blocks, boxes, Tupperware, books, whatever you have. All right. So I know I have a request on hip flexors and shoulders. Any other requests for today's class? Today's probably going to be fairly hip focused, kind of similar to, I believe it was Monday. Um, but we'll make sure to target also the hip flexors and the shoulders a bit. Yeah, you'll be fine without, Mike. You could also grab pillows, just whatever you have to elevate your hands, really, from the ground. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's come to the back of your mat for child's pose. So spread your knees out nice and wide. Oh, you won't be putting your entire frame on the blocks, just your hands. So we'll start in child's pose. Come to the back of your mat. Spread your knees out nice and wide, tops of your feet and your shins down on the ground. Send your hips down to your heels. And then walk your hands forward, bring your forehead down to something physical, be it the ground or a block. Slowly start to take deep breaths in and out. Inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale, feel your belly expand down towards the earth. And exhale, let your belly come back up towards your spine. Inhale nice and big. Fill up. And exhale, let it all go. Continue to breathe. Relax your hands at shoulder width distance with your arms nice and long in front of you. You always have the option to leave this passive and just relax here. You can also make this active by pressing your hands into the earth to send your hips further down to your heels. And if your hips are solidly on your heels, you could also bring your palms together and bring your thumbs between your shoulder blades on your upper back for a tricep stretch. You can even grab your blocks, bring your elbows to the blocks, and bring your thumbs between your shoulder blades for an even greater tricep stretch. Whatever variation of child's pose you're in, we'll be here for a few more breaths. And always remember that this is a resting posture. If you ever need to take a break in class, feel free to come back to this posture. 2 more deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise up to tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. A lot of people kind of start out with their knees still pretty wide. But make sure your knees are directly underneath your hips, wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly down, turn your gaze up high. Arch your tail up towards the sky. And then exhale, cat pose. Arch your back up towards the sky. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Bring your chin towards your chest. Inhale, cow. Belly down. Draw your shoulder blades together and down your spine. And exhale, cat. Spread your shoulder blades apart from one another as you send your back up towards the sky. Float the 3 more rounds of cat and cow on your own. Your breath. Your pace. Feel an opening in the chest, potentially on your way down to cow, and a stretch along your back, along your spine as you're in cat. 1 more. Come back to center. Inhale your right hand up to the sky with your weight in your left hand. Gaze up high, inhale. And then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your right arm underneath your left. Bend your left elbow as much as you need to bring your right ear and shoulder down to the ground. Feel free to leave this passive and just relax here. Feel free to also make this active by either pressing your left hand into the earth to increase the twist of your spine, or going for a bind. Reach your left hand up and then behind your back to reach your fingertips inside your right inner thigh area. And gently pull with the arm to increase the twist of your spine. Whichever variation of the active stretch you wish to take. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Bring your left hand back down to the ground. Inhale your right hand back up to the sky. And then exhale your right hand down. Maybe shimmy a little bit. Reset the spine slightly. Shift your weight to your right palm. Inhale your left hand up high. And then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your left arm underneath your right. Left shoulder down, left ear down. Feel free to, again, leave this passive. But if you made it active on the other side, I recommend pressing your right hand to the earth, or take the half bind, Wrap your right arm around your low back, grab for your left inner thigh, and gently pull with right arm. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Bring your right hand back down to the ground. If you took the bind, inhale your left hand up high, and then exhale it down. Reach your left arm forward, reach your right leg back. Rotate your left thumb up towards the sky. Drop your right hip down so your hips are still square to the earth. Flex your toes towards your face with your toes pointing directly down to the earth. Inhale your pinky and your big toe down to the ground, so your hand and your foot should touch the ground. Inhale. And then exhale, lift them both straight up. Engage your glute as you lift your foot up. Engage your shoulders, you lift your hand up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 1 more. Inhale down. And exhale up. Bring your hand and knee down. Switch sides. Reach your right arm forward. Reach your left leg back. Thumb facing up. Big toe pointing down towards the ground. Inhale your big toe and your pinky down to the ground. And exhale, lift them both straight up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 1 more. Inhale down and up. All right. Hand and knee down. Shift your weight to your left knee. Inhale your right leg up to the side. So you might have a 90-degree bend in your knee and your ankle. Try to parallel your right thigh with the ground. So we're going for a hydrant kick here. Think of yourself as a dog pissing on a hydrant. Inhale your knee down to hover off the ground. And then exhale, lift it back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Lower. Lift. And down. And up. Bring your right knee back down. Shift your weight to your right knee. Inhale your left knee up. Parallel your thigh to the ground. Again, find 90-degree bend in your knee. Inhale your knee down to just hover above the ground. Exhale, lift it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. 1 more. Inhale down. And exhale up. Bring both knees back down. Leave your hips and knees where they are. Walk your hands forward. Bring your chest down towards the ground. Puppy dog pose. Just a nice, gentle heart opener here. Perhaps a slight stretch for the posterior deltoid and your lats. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back close underneath your bring your hands underneath your shoulders. All right, moving on. Tuck your toes underneath you. Walk your hands forward, 1 handprint. Hover your knees up off the mat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Send your chest towards your thighs. Spread your fingers nice and wide. We're going to bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Both the balls of your feet stay on the ground. It's just a very slow walk in place. Feel a stretch in the back of your right calf and hamstring. And then switch your legs. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg. Feel a stretch in your left calf, maybe your Achilles area, maybe the hamstring. Switch. And switch. 1 more each side. Switch. And switch. Alright, send both your heels down towards the earth. Really spread your fingers wide. Shift your weight out of your wrist and into your thumb and forefinger. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Send your chest towards your thighs and then your thighs for the back wall. If you find you have a curve to your spine, bend your knees a bit to remove some stretch from your hamstring and find a flatter back, and then send your chest deeper. Find your down dog. Remember how this sensation feels. This is our home base. We'll be here several times throughout the class. Take a deep breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Just your eyes ahead towards your hands. Then exhale, ragdoll. Walk your feet behind your wrists. You want to have just enough bend in your knees so your low belly can rest on your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. So you always have the option to grab opposite elbows and sway side to side to open the low back. But for right now, let's work on the shoulders. Grab your strap or towel or belt or whatever you're using. Bring that behind your back. Grip your strap in both hands. Walk your hands as close together as it's comfortable. And then with a micro bend still in your elbows to help prevent hyperextension, send your fists up overhead for a chest expansion. Should feel a decent stretch in the front of your shoulders, in the anterior deltoid area. Couple breaths here. If you're careful and gentle, you can also kind of sway your torso side to side as well to open the low back with your arms up above your head. Then come back to center. Release your arms down to the earth. Set your strap aside. Slowly roll up. Let your head remain heavy until you reach the top. Let the head be the last thing that comes up. Take a couple shoulder rolls one direction, and then the other. Then draw your hands together, heart center, and close your eyes. Exhale all of your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Bring to the forefront of your mind whatever you wish to set today's intention to be. This could be being present here in this moment. This could be finding some joy, finding a little peace, cultivating contentment, finding some humility. Whatever you wish to set today's intention to be, bring that to the forefront of your mind. Start to cultivate this energy in your mind. Let it fill your mind. And then let that energy start to spread throughout the rest of your body, permeating into every single cell of your body until it envelops your entire being. Just for the next about 45 minutes, dedicate this time to this intention. To help seal this intention for your practice today, exhale all of your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Release your hands down to your sides, flutter your eyes open. Toe heel your feet together, big toes to touch. Tiny sliver of space in between your heels. There we go. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky. So you want your shoulders relaxing down your back with your wrists directly above your shoulders. Engage your quads, lift them up off your kneecaps. Tuck the tailbone slightly, pull your navel in and down towards your spine. Relax your shoulder blades together and down your back. Inhale. Grab your left wrist. Keep your arm back by your ear. Exhale, side bend to the right. Turn your gaze up underneath the top arm to look at the sky. Still relax your shoulders away from your ears. Tuck the tailbone slightly, protect your low back. Inhale. Exhale, maybe tilt a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise back up, switch your grip. Exhale, side bend to the left. Once again, keep your arm back by your ear, turn your gaze up at the sky. Feel a stretch in your right side as you tilt a little bit deeper. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, rise back up, release your grip, and then exhale, forward fold. Your hands can either go through heart center or swan dive down, that's up to you. Reach down towards the earth. Try to keep your legs fairly straight as you reach down towards the earth. It doesn't matter if you're up here or palms in the ground. You're still working to stretch the hamstrings and calves. From there, inhale, halfway lift, palms on your shins, just below your knees. Find a nice flat back. Again, if you have a curve to your spine, bend your knees a bit to find a flat back. It'll help remove some stretch from your hamstring. With your gaze down directly underneath your face to about 6 inches in front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen the top of your head forward. Exhale, high plank. Plant your palms, step back to the top of a push-up. Inhale, shift forward onto your tiptoes, and lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes. Draw your legs together like one long limb. Slide your hands back a little bit so your fingertips are at nipple level. Exhale. Inhale, baby cobra. Press the tops of your feet into the ground. Engage your legs, lift your knees up. Use your low back to lift your chest up off the ground. Little to no weight in your hands. Maybe even float your hands up off the ground. Inhale your chest up a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Inhale, press up to high plank or tabletop. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Everyone come on down to your knees for a second. So that was our sun salutation A, including the mountain, and then back to downward facing dog. I've talked about this in previous classes, but there's a small sequence of postures called the A vinyasa that you use to get back to downward facing dog. Or at least some practices call it A vinyasa. Now, the one we just did, baby cobra, is one version you can do. There are a couple different ones that you can do, and I've talked about them before in class, but I'm going to demonstrate them again for people who are new. We have chaturanga and chaturanga on the knees. So chaturanga is a pretty strong high to mid plank where you're working not just the arms, you're working the core, you're working basically everything. And the version on the knees just makes that a little easier, allows you to build some upper body strength to then potentially work up to chaturanga off the knees. So just to demonstrate, from halfway lift, come back to high plank. I'm just going to demonstrate. No need to do this at the moment. You want your wrists directly underneath your shoulders. Ideally, rotate the eyes of your elbows forward. Inhale, shift forward into your tip toes, and then lower halfway down. Bring your ribs to your elbows. So your shoulders and hips are the same distance from the ground. Back is parallel to the ground. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Shine your heart forward. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Engage your legs to lift your knees up, but let your hips sink low. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. So the version on your knees is very similar. You step back to high plank from halfway lift, shift forward on your toes, and then drop the knees down. Your toes can stay down or up. That's up to you. Lower halfway down. So you want to bring your ribs to your elbows once again. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the knees back up. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So you have chaturanga, chaturanga on the knees, baby cobra, or you can just hold high plank, where you hold it for the inhale, an exhale, another inhale, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. Whatever vinyasa you take is completely up to you. So we're going to flow through 2 more rounds of Sun A, 1 breath to 1 movement. I'll guide you through. Come back to downward facing dog. Let's reconnect to the breath. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it out. Inhale, look forward. Adjust your eyes and head. Exhale, you can walk, you can hop, you can jump to the top of your mat, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift, parallel your spine to the ground. Palms on your shins, just below your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Reach down towards the earth. Inhale, mountain pose. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Turn your gaze up high. Inhale, center. Switch your grip. Exhale, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, center. Release your grip. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Parallel your spine to the ground. Draw your shoulder blades together and down your back. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa. I'm probably going to be cueing for chaturanga. It is the more common and the one I'm practicing during the class today. So lower halfway down. Remember, you can be on your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time through. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain. Sweep your arms up high. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. Turn your gaze up high. Inhale, center. Switch your grip. Exhale, side bend to the left. Shoulders down. Inhale, center. Release the grip. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms to shins. Exhale, chaturanga, or baby cobra, or high plank if you're just skipping. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that was our Sun A. We're going to move on to Sun B. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, feet together. Big toes to touch, 10 slivers space in between your heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. We're going to bend the knees, sink the hips back and down, float your biceps up by your ears. So want your weight in your heels, knees back so you can still see at least your toes, if not the center of your feet. Squeeze your thighs together. Tuck the tailbone slightly, navel in and down. Float your biceps up by your ears with your shoulders down. Drive your arms away from your ears so your arms are nice and straight, but your hands still stay shoulder width distance, palms face each other. So we're creating this lightning bolt shape with the body. Inhale, sink your hips back and down a little bit deeper, and then exhale, forward fold. So just to note, it doesn't matter how deep you are in your chair. Find a chair that's comfortable in your body. Just make sure you can still see your toes, and just try not to fall over. Drawing a blank, sorry. And if you're really wobbly with your feet together, you can have your feet hip width distance in chair pose. That's up to you. So from the forward fold, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step back, chaturanga, make your way back to downward facing dog. Flow through upward facing dog, and then exhale, down dog. All right, so leave your left heel low. Inhale your right leg up and back. Try to kick the wall behind you. Flex your right toes towards your face. Drop your right hip down so your hips are square to the ground. Inhale, engage your right glute, lift your right heel up a little higher. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior two, spiral open to the left side of the room. I know I'm facing away from the camera, I apologize. Point your front toes directly forward, stack your front knee over your ankle. Your back foot should be parallel to the back of your mat. Drive your arms to the front and back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, extend to that angle. Bring your front forearm to your thigh, reach your back arm up to the sky. So this is one version. You can also, with your front arm, your right arm, reach your hand inside the front leg to reach for the ground. Keep your core engaged, spine nice and straight. It's much more about lifting up towards the sky than it is for reaching the ground. Turn your gaze up high. Inhale, star pose. We're going to straighten both legs. Rotate your feet so they're both 45 degrees out from center. Reach your arms up, arms wide, fingers wide, gaze high. And then exhale, horse pose. I'm actually going to turn to face the camera for this. From star, exhale, horse. Hands to heart center, sink your hips back and down. Your knees and toes go the same direction. Try to have your shoulders over your hips. Hands to heart center. But for now, we're going to bring your hands to your inner thighs. Nice straight arms. Inhale, puff up the chest. Exhale, twist your torso to the front. Keep your arms nice and straight. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist the back. You might feel some popping. That's okay. It's just your joints releasing. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist the front. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist the back. All right, bring your hands back to heart center, shoulders over hips. Inhale, star pose. And then exhale, warrior two to the front. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your front arm up and back. Slide your back hand down your back leg. Feel a stretch along your right side. Keep your hips and shoulders square to the left edge of your mat to guarantee a side stretch rather than back bend. You always have the option also for a half bind to wrap your back arm around your low back. Reach your fingertips forward towards the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Cartwheel down. Reframe your right foot. You have the option to keep the right foot lifted as you lower halfway down to chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So that was our right side. Now the left side. Melt the right heel down. Inhale your left leg up and back. Just angle your left hip down so your hips are still parallel to the ground. Flex your right toes towards your face. Engage your left glute. Lift your left heel up a little higher. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. And if your foot stops like somewhere between your feet and hands, you can grab your ankle and assist it forward. That's totally fine. Inhale, warrior two, spiral the back heel down, shoulders over hips, reach your arms for front and back space. So again, your front knee and toes point directly forward. Back foot is perpendicular to the front leg, so parallel to the back of the mat. Hips and shoulders square to the right edge of your mat. Drive your arms to the front and back space, turn your gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, extend to that angle. Tilt forward, either bring forearm to thigh or reach your front arm down, reach your back arm directly up. So again, it's more important to reach for the sky than it is to reach for the ground for this. Turn your gaze up high, relax your shoulders down. Inhale, star pose. Straighten both legs, toes out, heels in. Gaze high, engage your glutes, send your hips forward. And then exhale, horse. Hands to heart center, sink your hips back and down. Keep your hips low. We're going to do some goddess arms. So inhale the arms down, out, and up. And then exhale, hands to heart center, sink your hips a little bit deeper. Remember to tuck the tailbone to protect the low back. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, sink your hips a little bit deeper, hands to heart center. One more. Inhale, out and up. And then exhale, sink down. Inhale, star pose. Showing the heart up, turn your gaze up high. And then exhale, warrior two to the front. Rebend your front leg. Front two toes forward, back toes to the right. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your front arm up and back like you're trying to high-five the wall behind you. Either slide your back hand down your back leg or take a half bind. Wrap your forearm around your low back. Feel a stretch in your left side. Relax your shoulders down your back. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, cartwheel down. Reframe your front foot. Again, option to keep the left foot lifted as you lower halfway down for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tops of both feet down. Exhale, downward facing dog. So the whole sequence, chair and both sides, are our sun salutation B. We're going to flow through 2 more times, moving one breath to one movement. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your back and down, float your biceps up by your ears. Squeeze your thighs together. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Parallel your spine to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga, plant your palms, step back, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Leave your left heel low. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior two. Spiral open to the left side of the room. Front knee over front ankle. Arms parallel to the ground. Exhale, extend that angle. Tilt your torso forward and down. Turn your gaze up high. Inhale, star pose. Straighten both legs, toes out, heels in. Send your heart high. Exhale, horse. Hands to heart center. Sink your hips back and down. Feel a gentle hip stretch. Inhale, star. Come back up. Shine your heart up. Exhale, warrior two to the front. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your front arm up and back. Option for the half bind. And then exhale, chaturanga, cartwheel down. Step your right foot back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Again, it's okay if you need to assist your foot forward. Inhale, warrior two. Spiral open to the right side of the room. Turn your gaze forward. Exhale, extend that angle. Tilt forward and down. Turn your gaze to the right to gaze up at the sky. Inhale, star pose. Whoop. Toes out, heels in. Hips forward. Exhale, horse. Hands to heart center. Sink your hips back and down. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Float your front arm up and back. Exhale, chaturanga. Cartwheel down. Step back and lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. One more time through. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift, parallel your spine to the ground. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend your knees, sink your hips back and down. Find your deepest chair yet. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your palms, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge, step your foot between your hands. Inhale, warrior two, blossom open to the left side of the room. Exhale, extend that angle. Turn your gaze up high as you reach down towards the earth. Inhale, star pose. Toes out, heels in, heart high, hips forward. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. Rebend the front leg. Inhale, reverse warrior. Float your front arm up and back. Exhale, chaturanga, cartwheel down. Step back and flow. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Blossom open to the right side of the room. Front knee over front ankle. Exhale, extend the side angle. Tilt forward and down. Turn your gaze up high. Inhale, star. Straighten both legs. Hips forward. Exhale, horse. Hips back and down. Hands to heart center. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior to the front. Stack your front knee over front ankle once more. Inhale, reverse warrior. Leave your front knee where it is. Exhale, chaturanga. Cartwheel down. Step back and lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, come down to your knees, have a seat. Feel free to get a sip of water. Towel off if you need to towel off. All right. Whew. Talking and doing that the entire time. Have to catch my breath for a second. All right, so we're going to come back and meet in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. So we're going to gently set the back knee down. Stack your shoulders over your hips, hands on top of your front thigh. So you can just stack one hand on top of the other. You can interlace your hands, whatever's more comfortable for you. If the back knee is, if you're feeling a lot of pressure in the back knee, you can press the back shin into the ground to release some pressure from your knee. If you need more padding, you can take the outer edge of your mat, fold it up inward so you have 2 layers of mat underneath your knee. You can also take your towel. I typically use a hand towel, fold it up into a little rectangle so there's 2, 4, 6, 8 layers of cloth, and place that under your back knee. Whatever's most comfortable for you. So from the shoulders over hips, draw your right hip back, left hip forward to square your hips to the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale, sink your hips forward and down. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, forward and down. 3 more rounds. Inhale, lift. Make sure to have your tailbone slightly tucked. Keep the left glute engaged. I forgot to mention that. As you sink your hips forward and down, this will help accentuate the stretch in the front of your hip. Also, the more of a back bend you take, the stronger the stretch in the hip flexor will be. Inhale, up and back. 2 more. Exhale, forward and down. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Reach your arms up high. Actually, you know what? No. Let's grab your blocks. Place your blocks on either side of your front leg, pretty much as high as you can make them. If you're using Tupperware boxes, whatever you have. I have a client or two who use cake pans. But place them on either side of your front leg. Extend the front leg forward. Flex your right toes towards your face. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, we're working towards half split. Hinge your hips forward. It doesn't matter if you only hinge an inch or bring your chest all the way down to your thigh. I'm not there. But this is a good stretch for your lateral hamstring, the hamstring further away from the midline of your body. Inhale, lengthen your heart toward your toes. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. 1 more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge. You can always adjust your blocks. You can walk them further forward. You can change the height. Whatever you need to make this accessible to your body. Inhale, slowly come back up. Set your blocks to the sides of your mat, but keep them nearby. Rebend your right leg. Inhale, arms up high. Kneeling crescent lunge. Now you can stay here on your back knee. You can also tuck the back toes and lift the back knee for high crescent lunge. And if you come up to high crescent lunge and you're really wobbly, you can walk your front knee out, or your front foot out a step or 2 towards the right to widen your stance. It'll help with your balance. Also, find something in front of you that does not move. Could be a light switch, could be a doorknob, could be a spot on the wall, whatever you have. Turn your gaze to that. Try to not take your gaze away from it. And that is your drishti point. That is your focal point. It'll also help with your balance. It'll give you a visual anchor. So arms up high. Inhale. Stack your front knee over front ankle. Exhale, hands to our center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. And exhale, revolve crescent lunge. Hook your left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. Now, if you find this, if you can't really get your elbow outside your thigh, you can also take an open arm twist. Just keep your shoulders over your hips. Bring your arms out to a T and rotate towards the right. You can even bring your left hand to your right thigh and gently press your hand into the thigh. Now, if you're feeling way too wobbly here and you want to focus on the twist rather than the balance, either reason, you can gently set the back knee down. Whatever variation you're in, as you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. For those in revolve crescent, press your top hand into the bottom hand and your elbow into your thigh to increase the twist of your torso to bring your heart closer to your thumbs. Turn your gaze over your right shoulder, maybe gaze up at the sky. Those in open arm twist, gaze towards your back fingers. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Inhale, look forward, look down. Exhale, runner's lunge. Plant your palms on the inside of your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the right edge of your mat. If your back knee is still up, bring it back down to the ground. I personally tend to walk my back leg back a little bit to bring my hips further down to the earth. So this is runner's lunge. This in of itself could be a good hip flexor stretch for your left hip. You might also feel a bit of a stretch in your hip flexor or inner thigh on this side. You have the option to stay here in your palms. You also have the option to come down to your forearms, be it forearms to a block or even a stack of blocks, or down to the ground if that's in your flexibility. Find your resting posture either on the palms or down in your forearms. Let your head hang heavy. Option to nod your head yes, to shake your head no, to open and close your mouth, release your jaw. Just rest here for a few moments. You can feel free to stay on your forearms and your head heavy. If you want to take a quad stretch for the left quad, come back up to your palms, shift your weight to your left hand, reach your right hand back, bend your left knee, capture your foot in your hand. If you need to, grab your strap and loop it around your ankle. Just grab as far down on that strap as is comfortable and pull your heel towards your glute. For those who are able to just reach their foot, just gently pull your heel towards your glute. This helps stretch not just the one joint quad muscles, but also the two joint quad muscle, your rectus femoris, because your hips are in extension. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Bring your heel a little closer. Relax the left foot back down. Bring your right hand back down to the ground. Everyone come up to your palms if you're down in your forearms. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step your right foot back, high plank. So we're going to shift your weight to your left hand, tilt your heels to the left. Inhale, side plank, reach your right arm up to the sky. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders. Now you can drop the bottom knee down to modify. Kickstand your foot behind you to make yourself more stable. If you're in normal side plank, you can have either one foot in front of the other or stack your feet. You can also advance this a little bit by either floating the top foot up or taking tree pose in the side plank. Just make sure to not have your foot on your knee. Inhale, rainbow your hips up a little bit higher. Engage your core. And then exhale, plant your right palm. Optional chaturanga. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And out. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. Gently set the back knee down. Stack your shoulders over your hips, hands on top of a thigh. So whatever stack of hands or interlace of hands you took on the other side, take the other version on this side. So if you had your left on top of right on the other side, have your right on top of left. Find that little bit of balance in the body. Pull your left hip back, right hip forward. Tuck the tailbone, engage the right glute. Inhale. Exhale, send your hips forward and down. Keep your chest back. Maybe take a slight back bend to help accentuate the stretch in the front of your right hip. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise back up. Grab your blocks. Place your blocks on either side of your front leg. Extend your front leg forward. Flex your toes towards your face. Draw your left hip back, right hip forward. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Bring your belly closer to your thigh. As you inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. As you exhale, hinge slightly more. You can adjust your blocks, either change the height or walk them forward, whatever you need to make this accessible in your body. And again, it doesn't matter if you're only hinging forward about an inch, or if you bring your belly all the way to your thigh. You're still working to stretch the lateral hamstring on this leg. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Rebend the left knee. Set your blocks aside. Inhale your arms up high, kneeling crescent lunge. Option to keep the back knee down or tuck the back toes and lift the back knee for high crescent lunge. Whatever feels better for you and your body. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, tilt your torso forward. And exhale, revolve to crescent lunge. Twist towards your front leg. Hook your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh. And again, if you can't make this hook, you can take an open arm twist to bring your arms out to T and just rotate to the left. Potentially bring your right hand to your right thigh. Right hand to left thigh, rather. To press your hand into your thigh to increase the twist. And if you need to drop the back knee down, feel free to do so to focus on the twist rather than the balance. As you inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, twist a little bit deeper. For those in revolve crescent, try to bring your heart closer to your thumbs. Rotate your head to look over your left shoulder, to look either at the sky or at the back wall. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. One more inhale. And exhale, twist. Inhale, look down. And exhale, runner's lunge. Plant your palms on the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the left edge of your mat and forward so your ankle's in front of your knee. Again, I tend to scoot my back leg back a little bit to bring my hips further down towards the ground. Once more, you can stay here in palms. You can also come down to your forearms, be it forearms to ground or forearms to block. Let your head hang heavy no matter what variation you're in. Take a deep breath in. And out. Option to nod your head yes, to shake your head no, to open and close your mouth, release your jaw. For those who took the quad stretch on the other side, come back up to your palms if you're on your forearms. Shift your weight to your right palm. Inhale your left hand back, bend your right knee, grab your right foot in your hand, and exhale, bring your heel toward your glute. Again, if you need to use a strap, you can loop a strap around your ankle and gently pull your foot closer to your hips. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bring your heel close to your glute. One more deep breath in. And out. Gently release your foot, bring your right foot back down to the ground, left palm back down. Everyone back up on their palms if you're down in your forearms. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knees, step back, high plank. Shift your weight to your right palm, tilt your heels to the right. Inhale, side plank. Again, option to take a kickstand, to drop your bottom knee down, pop your foot behind you. You can also keep one foot in front of the other, or stack your feet, Maybe even either float your left leg up high or take a tree pose variation on this side. Just avoid your knee to help protect your knee. Keep your hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Inhale, rainbow your hips up a little bit higher, engage your core. And then exhale, left hand down, optional chaturanga. Make your way back to downward facing dog. All right. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot between your hands. Oh, that's what we forgot on the other side. I apologize. Bring your left leg back forward. Gently set the back knee down. Did we do the hip bounce? I don't think we did. So yeah, hands on top of thigh. Tuck the tailbone, engage your right glute. Send your hips forward and down. Slight back bend. Inhale up and back. Exhale forward and down. 3 more rounds. Sorry about that. 2 more. Last one. All right. Plant your palms. Let's just step the left foot back and then step the right leg forward. There we go. Low lunge, right leg forward. Yay. Back on track. Walk your back foot forward about a foot. Rotate your foot out about 35 to 45 degrees. Bring your heel down towards to the ground. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Inhale, warrior one. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Reach your arms up to the sky. Stack your front heel over front ankle. You can either shorten your stance or lengthen your stance as much as you need. Find this variation in your body with your front knee over front ankle, back heel down, hips square to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up. Now we're going to exhale, hands together behind your back. Now if you can't make this connection with your hands, you can grab your strap just like we did in Ragdoll. Keep a micro bend in your elbows to help prevent hyperextension. Inhale, puff up the chest, and exhale, humble warrior. Bring your chest down toward your thighs, send your fists up over your head. Feel a stretch once again in your anterior deltoid area. Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Release your grip. Inhale, warrior two. So we're going to sweep up and then blossom open to the left side of the room. Spiral the back heel down. Maybe widen your stance as much as you need. Straighten your front leg. So now we're in a kind of triangular standing straight leg posture. Arms out to the T. So you're going to bump your hips to the back of the room. So your front hip is going to dip down. Your back hip's going to pop up. Reach your arms as far forward as you can. Keep your core nice and activated and straight. Reach as far as you can. Reach, reach, reach until you can't reach any further. And then drop the front hand down. Reach the back arm up. Triangle pose. You can bring a block inside your front leg to bring your fingertips or hand to. Or you can either rest your hand gently on your shin or thigh, avoid the knee, or reach your hand on the inside of the front leg. Press your hand into the inside of the front leg to help increase the twist of your heart up towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, maybe tilt your hips a little bit deeper. Feel a stretch in your medial hamstring, the inner hamstring, the one closer to the midline of the body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise back up. Rotate your front foot in so your feet are parallel with one another. Now, if you want a stronger stretch in the outer part of the calf, your lateral part of the calf, rotate your toes in more. Inhale, puff up the chest, and then exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Hinge down, grab accessible calves, ankles, feet. Use your biceps to pull yourself a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, just your fingertips. So kind of tense your fingers on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift in the wide-legged forward fold. And then exhale, walk your hands forward, low lunge, step your right foot back to high plank. We're just going to step your left leg forward for time. Inhale, walk your front foot forward enough so you can bring your heel down to the ground. Rotate your right foot out until you're to about 35 to 45 degrees so your heel makes contact with the ground. Square your hips to the front of the room. Inhale, warrior one. Shoulders up, arms up. So again, square your hips forward, front knee over front ankle. Inhale, and exhale. Interlace your hands behind your back. Take the opposite interlace you did on the other side if you're actually interlacing your hands. If you're using a strap, bring your hands as close together as is comfortable. Inhale, puff up the chest. Keep your microbend in your elbows. Exhale, humble warrior. Hinge forward, bring your chest to your thigh. Bring your hands up over your head. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, send your hands up a little bit higher. Keep the microbend in your elbows to help prevent hyperextension. Inhale. And exhale. Release your grip. Inhale, warrior one, and then blossom open to warrior two. Widen your stance. Parallel your back foot to the back of your mat. We're going to straighten the front leg. Bump your hips to the back of the room. Reach your arms as far forward as you can. Reach, 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 reach. Until you can't reach any further, then drop the front hand down, reach the back arm up. You're going to gaze up at the sky. Again, you can bring your fingertips to a block, hands on your shin or thigh, or reach on the inside of the thigh, and press your hand against your leg to increase the twist of your heart up towards the sky. Inhale, and exhale. One more inhale, and exhale. Inhale, slowly come back up. Rotate the front foot in. Option to interlace your hands one more time. Inhale, puff up the chest. And exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Either hands interlace and hands up above the head, or grab what's accessible, your calves, ankles, feet. Use your biceps to pull yourself a little deeper. Take a deep breath in. And out. Inhale and exhale. Release your grip. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Tense your fingers on the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front. Step back, high plank, and then just shift up and back, downward facing dog. Come down to your knees, extend your legs out long in front of you. We've done a fair bit of forward folding, stretching the hamstrings already, so we're going to skip the seated forward fold for today. Come on down to your back. Bend your knees, bring your heels close to your glutes. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, let your right knee fall open. Flex your right toes towards your right knee. Grab your left hamstring with both hands, your right hand will reach between the legs, and gently pull your left knee towards your chest. If you can get your knee close enough, you can bring your hands to interlace on the front of your shin. The only muscles really activated here is your right shin to bring your right toes towards your right knee, and your biceps to bring your knee a little closer. Everything else can just relax. Your whole left leg, your back, your core, your head, your neck. Maybe even close your eyes. Really bring your mental awareness to your right hip. Feel the stretch in your right hip. And for those who use half pigeon, you're more than welcome to take half pigeon as well. Just a couple more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Last inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring your left foot back down to the ground. And switch your legs. For those in half pigeon, work your way to switch to the other side. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Let your left knee fall open. Flex your left toes towards your left knee. Grab your right hamstring with both hands. Your left hand will reach between the legs. Gently pull your right knee towards your chest. If you can get your knee close enough, interlace your hands on the front of your shin, but take the opposite interlace that you did on the other side. So instead of having right index finger on top, then you would have left index finger on top, or vice versa. Just relax your head, relax your torso. Notice the difference between this hip and the other hip. Typically, one is tighter than the other, and that's perfectly normal because our bodies are developed asymmetrically. Couple more breaths here. One more deep breath in and out. Bring both your feet back down to the ground. Bring your arms out to a T on the earth. Float your knees up over your hips. And then send both your, pause. Scoot your hips to the right edge of your mat. Then float your knees up over your hips. And then send both your knees to the left. Turn your gaze to the right. Now you can stay here with a 90-degree bend in your hip, your knee, and your ankles. You can also leave your right leg where it is and extend your left leg forward to the top of the mat. If you choose to take that variation, you can take your left hand and place it on your right thigh about 2/3 the way down the thigh to protect your knee and to add a little extra weight to your leg and allow gravity to twist you a little deeper. Not really actively pressing, you're just resting your arm on your leg. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Come back to center. Bring your knees back up over your hips. Scoot your hips all the way to the left edge of your mat. Float your knees up over your hips once again. And then exhale, supine twist. Send both your knees to the right. Turn your gaze to the left. Option stay here. Option to extend your right leg forward and straighten your leg. Option to also rest your right hand on your left thigh about 2/3 the way down your thigh towards your knee. Again, you're just resting your hand. You're not actively pushing. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly bring your knees back up over your hips. Bring your hips back to center. Feel free to take any last-minute postures you may wish to take that you usually use in your practice. Otherwise, bring your knees into your chest, curl up in the smallest ball you can, wrap your forearms around your shins, forehead up towards your knees. Inhale, squeeze everything nice and tight. And then exhale, Shavasana. Let your legs come down, feet splay wide. Rest your arms at your sides. Palms can either face up or down. That's up to you, whatever feels better in your body. With eyes closed, just slow, deep breaths. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, only to be here and now. If you can stay longer in Shavasana, please do. If you do need to move on, that's totally fine. Start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists. Draw your right ear to the mat, and then your left. Take a full body stretch with your fingers to the wall behind you, toes to the wall in front of you. Stretch everything out nice and long. And then float your knees up over your hips and roll onto your right side for fetal position. Use your bottom bicep like a pillow. Allow Shavasana to mark the end of this chapter of your day, while fetal pose begins your next chapter. Try to keep your eyes closed, press yourself up to a seat, facing the front, just a nice comfortable seat. Draw your hands together in front of your heart. Exhale all of your air. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale your thumbs up to your forehead, connecting your heart to your mind. In honor of the practice and to each other, bow forward. Namaste. All right, thank you for joining me for class today. If you have any questions, any feedback, things that you liked, things that you didn't, please reach out to me. Either comment on the video itself or shoot me a direct message. Today is a suggested donation of $10. I will be posting my Venmo below in a comment. If you do not use Venmo, reach out to me and we can figure out another method to use. If you don't have $10 to give, I totally understand. No worries at all. I am also doing private yoga lessons. So if you want to do a one-on-one lesson, where if you're brand new to yoga and you want to really learn the basics in more detail, or you're more practiced at yoga and you want to learn more advanced stuff, reach out to me. We can set up a one-on-one lesson. That's $30 for the hour, and we can do that over either Facebook Messenger video, we can do Skype, we can do Zoom. There are a number of options we can use. Reach out to me. I will hopefully see you guys on Friday, and please, if you can, if you haven't already, go to my Cummings Wellness page on Facebook. That's the page that this event is hosted on. Go to the events tab. Look at all the events in May and RSVP for as many of the classes as you want. That'll put them on your calendar, and it'll make it easier to remember to come to class. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Namaste.